welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, it's another book video and I'm going to go through all of the highly rated BookTok, BookTube books, give you my opinion on them. So I thought this would be a fun little video to do just to get my opinions, and obviously these are my opinions. If you agree with them, great. If you don't, then everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books to go through, and yeah, I'm really excited to share with you what I thought of these books. Okay, the first book is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. My friend actually bought me this book for my birthday and I was obsessed with it. I absolutely love this book. Very emotional, very beautifully written, and it definitely got me in my feels. I feel like this book but definitely lived up to the hype. It says on the front, a triumph, a true joy from start to finish. It says, Christina Lauren's books have a place of honour on my bookshelf. Heartbreaking and hopeful. Loving you nearly destroyed me, but losing you again is unthinkable. Am I brave enough to risk it all? And it's like a 2-point perspective, so you've got then and now. And I love books like that because it gives you like a bit of a timeline. Christina Lauren is one of my favourite authors. I absolutely love her books, and I just think she writes such like interesting books. And yeah, they're romances, but I feel like there's more to them than just being a romance. So yeah, I would highly recommend this book if it's on your TBR or you've seen it and you want to give it a go. Definitely give it a go. And the only thing I will say is that this is like the old cover of the book. There is like an updated cover which looks really funky and cute. So yeah, that is the first book on my list. The next book is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Now, I will say that this is probably one of my favourite series I've ever read. I absolutely love this series so much. It just fills my heart with joy. And I just think the way that Elsie Silver writes and like sets the scene and sort of, you know, keeps you wrapped up in the story in like the small town romance vibe, like Grumpy Sunshine trope vibe, I feel like it's just next level. This in particular was my favourite book of the series so far. I haven't read the last book yet. I'm still waiting to get that. So when I do read that, I will give my opinions on it. But this was definitely my favourite out of the 4 that I've read so far. I'll give you a little synopsis. Working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple, except I can't take my eyes off him and he can't keep his hands off me. So my contract may say this arrangement is only for 2 months, but my heart says this is forever. So yeah, it's a Grumpy Sunshine vibe, cowboy vibe. It's just, yeah, Elsie Silver's writing is a true revelation. That was by Ali Hazelwood. I love the covers of these books. These books are quite chunky as well, so you feel like you're definitely reading a decent amount. I just love this series so much. This series has my whole heart, and I will recommend this over and over again. Next is a recent read of mine, which is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I love the cover of this. I think it's so cute with like the pink edging, and not edging, spine. It's got like the city on the back, and oh my god, this book was so good. I absolutely loved the scene and the setting of this book. Obviously it's based in London, in the city, and yeah, I just love that it's based in the city because then I feel like I can relate to it. I find it quite difficult reading like American books sometimes because I feel like I can't relate to the scene where it's set. Let's read a little synopsis. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? Magnolia Parks is a beautiful, affluent, self-involved and mildly neurotic London socialite. BJ Ballantyne is Britain's most Britain's most photographed bad boy who broke her heart. But these two are meant to be and everyone knows it. I just think, honestly, it was such a good book. Like, I loved it. I can't wait to read the second one in the series. I know Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates is one of like people's many highly requested, highly spoken about books. So I definitely want to give Daisy Hates a go. I think it'll be really, really good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. To a controversial book review now. So if you don't agree with this book review, then I'm really sorry. This author is just not my favourite author. I just don't relate to the characters. I don't relate to the storylines. I just feel like they're massively overhyped. And yeah, just not my scene. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Now, Colleen Hoover was one of the first authors that I really started reading when I took up reading as a hobby. And at the time, I was a lot younger. This was like 3-4 years ago. I was a lot younger. And I feel like I could tolerate the themes and the storylines and stuff. But for me, Ugly Love in particular just had no substance to it, and I could predict what was going to happen. I could predict the characters, what they was going to be like, and I just didn't think that it was written very well. And a lot of people have this up there as like one of their favourite books, which I completely understand, because everyone's entitled to their own thoughts and feelings about books because it's subjective, like you take it how you want to take it. But for me, I just don't get on with Colleen Hoover's writing. I just don't get on with her stories, her characters. I just don't find them interesting. So I will be selling this book. I'll be taking it to the charity shop or selling it on my Vinted. But if Colleen Hoover, if you're like a new reader, I will say Colleen Hoover's writing is very easy to read and the chapters are very small. I think the chapters are like 5 to 10 pages a chapter, which is not bad at all. I've really had high expectations for Colleen Hoover's books, but now I look back on them, like obviously at the time I could say yes, I would read Colleen Hoover's books and be satisfied with them. But if I was to read them now at the like level of maturity I'm at now, being the age of 25, I just don't think it's for me anymore. Yeah, that's my opinion. If you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, then that's fine. Christina Lauren book, we've got a strong theme going here. She is an absolute angel. I love her writing so much. So this is the Unhoneymooners. This is like a enemies to lovers situation. 2 sworn enemies, anything can happen during the Hawaiian trip of a lifetime. So it says witty and downright hilarious, a joyful, warm, touching book. So yeah, I absolutely love this. As I said before, I love Christina Lauren's writing. I feel like her setting the scene and the characters are really relatable and funny. And I just think, you know, with a writer like Christina Lauren, where she can go from doing really emotional writing to really deep, meaningful concepts, I feel like that is an amazing author, and that is why I will keep reading Christina Lauren's books over and over again because they're so good. I did purchase a few new ones recently, which I put in my last video, and yeah, I just think Christina Lauren is the GOAT. Okay, next up is a thriller. I have recently just finished this book, and it is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, I want to say. Michaelides. I'm probably butchering that name, but this book was so good. I loved it. I loved it with all my being. Honestly, I absolutely love a thriller. Alyssa Berenson lived a seemingly perfect life until one day 6 years ago when she shot her husband in the head 5 times. Since then, she hasn't spoken a single word. It is time to find out why. Absolutely brilliant, terrific, compelling, unforgettable. The pace and finesse of a master. Come on. It was so good. I loved it. Only she knows what happened. Only I can make her speak. And people say this is like the perfect thriller. It's not too long. Very fast paced. The twist is very good. Yeah, just the whole vibe of this book was amazing. I absolutely loved it. For me, thrillers are very hit and miss. I will go through stages with thrillers. I will love thrillers for a while, especially around this time of year where it's getting a bit colder, the nights are getting darker. I love a thriller because I feel like it just sets the scene. But obviously during the summer months I don't really read thrillers, so when they come out I don't tend to read them. So this has been on my shelf on my TBR for a long time, and I finally read it this week and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. Okay, we're on to the last book, which is probably the most anticipated, most spoken about, most BookTok hyped, BookTok recommended book, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Now, I have mixed feelings about this book because I loved the characters in this. I loved that it was quite sexy, quite smutty, quite fast paced, even though it's a chunky book. Yeah, for me, like obviously it's 18 plus content, not suitable for younger readers. I don't think it was as spicy as what it was hyped up to be, because the scenes in it were great, but I've read a lot spicier in different books. So the way that this was hyped up for me didn't reach my expectations, which was a bit disappointing. But the actual book itself is really good. So it's basically about a figure skater and a hockey player cross paths, and so it says nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried because she could never like a hockey player, right? Fostering chemistry, sizzling banter, and swoon-worthy romance. So yeah, I mean, you look at it, you think cute book, gonna be cutesy, all them vibes, but it's actually quite smutty, but not as smutty as I thought it was gonna be. So yeah. But yeah, they are my 7 most spoken about BookTok books at the moment that I've come across anyway. If you enjoyed this video, please do let me know of any books that you've read that have been highly requested and recommended, and put them in the comments and we can have a chat about them, and I'll let you know if I've read them myself. And I would love to know what you're reading at the moment. I love to know what people are reading because it gives me more recommendations, or we can discuss if I've read them myself. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one, and yeah, hope you have a lovely weekend.